Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, the couple who was basically plastered across not only social media, there are articles about them in The Guardian, in US Weekly, in Entertainment, and you name it. USA Today covered the story. Everybody was covering their story of them leaving their children alone in the cabin to go to dinner. And they say the story is completely untrue. So let's go over it. So we have the couple, the Howards, who have two young children, a 2-year-old son and a 1-year-old son. They went on a cruise on the Navigator of the Seas, and at one point they said they tried going to the dining room with their children, but they became fussy, they weren't having a good time, etc. And then they said that they would they left their children sleeping because they changed their dining room time to when they were in bed, and then they went down and enjoyed dinner. And in their own post, they said that they were FaceTiming the kids on the baby monitors and watching them. Now, also, before that, they said that the monitors didn't work unless you were basically in the room with the children. So people who followed them went, hey, wait a minute, did you just leave your children alone in a cruise ship cabin? What the heck were you doing? What's going on? That's poor parenting. And the backlash began. And about 3 hours after they posted this message on their Instagram, etc., and TikTok, they deleted it. And now they've spoken out saying, of course, they didn't leave their children alone in the room. They said, no, they were with family the whole time. We had family on board with us as well, and somebody was always in the room with the children. Okay, good. And then they also explained what they were talking about with the FaceTime, because people said, well, if you brought baby monitors, would you not, is that not like planning to leave them alone in the cabin? Why would you bring baby monitors if you're not planning to leave them alone? And they basically explain that by saying that both their children sleep in what's called blackout tents, and the blackout tents have a place for the baby monitor where they would put it, and that way they could still keep an eye on their children even when they're in the blackout tent, so they can see if they wake up or if there's any problems or anything like that, which could be perfectly understandable. I have no idea what a blackout tent is. I have never heard of putting somebody in a blackout thing to sleep anywhere. I would get claustrophobic. I would be terrified as a kid growing up, I guess, like that myself. But anyway, some people do, I guess. I guess that is a thing. I myself have never heard of this, but okay, that could explain that situation altogether. The trouble is their own post, and they even admit that their post was misleading. And they could see how people would jump to that conclusion from their own post, from their own message, from what they said in their own story. They could see why people would assume, because they never once mentioned other family. They never once mentioned that their sister or brother or mother was looking after the children while they went to dinner. They said in their post that their kids were sleeping and they were monitoring them on FaceTime. No mention of other people. So of course people are going to jump to that conclusion. Now on their post where they came up with their answer and answering the controversy, everyone was, oh, I knew you were bad parents. I knew you were really good. Oh, yes, I knew there had to be a logical explanation, blah, 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 blah. And that is very easy to come by. Nobody wants to see your person you look up to, someone you follow as an idyllic family, or a celebrity you really, really admire, or anybody you admire to have done something wrong. And you will always try and believe them, right? Here in Canada, remember the old Ben Johnson story, the 100-meter dash, 100-yard dash, right? And we were all cheering him on here in Canada, and then he tested positive for steroids, and we didn't want to believe it. Oh, it didn't. Somebody spiked his water, etc. Oh, he's a hero. This is wrong. And then it was proven, yeah, he was on steroids. He admitted it, etc. Our heroes fall. But we don't want to believe it. I can see why we don't want to believe it. And this story can be completely true. This family could have had family on board. They could have been watching the kids all the time. And their post, if they posted it that way, was a very bad decision. And they're not inexperienced vloggers, TikTokers, Instagram, you name it. They've got 7 million followers for a reason. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a living. This is their jobs. And so, I mean, either they just had a lax of judgment, or they're scrambling to come up with a logical answer. The good news after all this turmoil and everything that's going on, no matter what happens with this family, whether it really happened or it didn't, we always want to believe that it didn't happen, that they were really looking after their kids. We don't want to feel the worst for anybody. It will be a lesson learned, right? A lesson learned for everybody out there that, hey, if anyone was even thinking about doing this, that's not a good idea. Never leave your children alone in a stateroom. That's a bad idea. So this has now come to light. And people who are new to cruising, people who are first-time parents, who now may have thought about doing something like this, maybe now they won't. So that's a good thing, right? That's always a good thing. And for the family themselves, they should always remember, if you're a family vlogging channel, the most important thing for you is to come off looking like you really care about your kids. And to have anything that might hint that you are doing something wrong with kids, people are going to notice. Especially 7.5 million people. They're just going to do it, right? They're just going to do it. If you're in social media at all, you have to be on your best behavior at all times. Watch what you say, and especially watch what you post online. Especially that, because it's called self-inflicted harm. There are internet people out there who do nothing but cover other social media people who have fallen, who have done something stupid or wrong or illegal or scammed their audience or did something bad like that. And then that's all they do. They cover those kind of folks out there. And there are a ton of people out there, folks. People I used to watch all the time. And then you found out, yeah, they're not such nice people in real life. What you see on camera is not always what that person's like in real life. So we all have to keep that in mind. And as I'm saying that, I will always endeavor to be the exact same person you see here online. And hopefully I never put on a fake persona or have anybody doubt my sincerity. But you never know what the future may hold. But yeah, lesson learned for everybody out there. Be careful what you post online, because it can come back to bite you in the behind. Well, let me know, do you think this is just a cover story? Or do you think, yeah, they probably did have family on board and they just made a mistake in their posting? It was just a bad thing they did, kind of like a bad post, or not thinking it through and what people might have saw in reading into it? Or maybe is this a little cover-up because their perfect world family just had a little notch taken out of it? It can go either way, folks. Let's just chalk it up to lesson learned and hope they just continue the success and they have a great family going forward. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more trips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.